What is cool if you're handsome but creepy if you're ugly? I have a friend who has women literally swoon over him. Like, I thought that sort of stuff only happened in movies and cartoons until I met him. He is also clumsy as duck. He has spilled drinks over women, knocked them over, accidentally hit them because he was using his arms too much when telling a story, etc. I've never seen a woman get mad at him once. If anything, they're glad it happened. Dude, same. My friend is like movie handsome. Walked into a club with him and he casually said, "How are you?" to the bartender. She goes, "Well, I'm way better now you said hi to me," and proceeds to give him free drinks all night. The duck. Yeah, that's what going to bars with my friend is like. We also went to Comic-Con and we visited the Pokemon card stall. He just said to the female employee I was thinking of getting back into Pokemon cards, and she literally got a big box of cards and gave them to him for free. He is also completely oblivious to all of this. He doesn't abuse it at all and just thinks people are being nice. I once was called creepy for sitting alone at lunch minding my own business. I hate that. What's wrong with wanting to spend some time by myself? Introvert problems. Problem is people are bitches with self-esteem issues. Let's say you have a higher tolerance buffer in a lot of contexts. Seriously. People give you way more benefit of the doubt when you're handsome. Imagine if Danny DeVito and Henry Cavill walked by a woman on the street and ran after her, chatting her up and asking her out. One would be considered a total creep. But when you're handsome like Danny DeVito, it'd be considered bold and romantic. NGL, they had us in the first half. Winking. Sucks for ugly cyclopses. Is it still winking if you're blinking all the eyes you have? I'll bring my personal experience around that. I used to be overweight for many years, and I managed to create my own business through a lot of work and many fails. With women, was kinda complicated, as well as you are watch really weirdly when you try to speak to a girl in a bar or you get easily friend-zoned. And one day I just decided to take more care of me by eating healthier and going to gym. To be honest, I changed nothing about me except my appearance. And it was like finding the golden ticket. Everything is way easier when you look good and healthy. People tend to trust you more. Even in the working world. I was networking a lot at the beginning for my business to start, and wasn't that easy to get some people actually calling back. The funniest is that my skill set was the same, and so was my behavior to people. But it seems that people are naturally attracted and are more tolerant to someone who looks good and healthy. The funniest is that my skill set was the same, and so was my behavior to people. People will never believe this. They will always say that you were more confident and that's what people responded to. Nobody is dismissing that without changing your attitude, being better looking will help you. People are simply telling you that you cannot get better looking. Then you should change your attitude. If you don't think that appearing more confident, no matter how you look, will get you more results than the contrary, then I don't know what to tell you. Certain eyeglasses. If you're hot it's stylish, but if you're ugly you look like a sex offender. I feel aviator shades amplify this effect. Especially mustaches. Thanks. Now I know that I'm ugly AF. Lawyer up. Delete Facebook. Hit the gym. Hit the lawyer. Delete up. Book the face gym. Sitting on a park bench watching your child play. Karens definitely react differently. Saturday morning after spending hours crying and just throwing on sweats and taking your kid to a park. Excuse me, can you move? You're making my kids uncomfortable. Saturday morning after you've showered, shaved, and have khakis and a polo on. Oh hi, how are you doing? The South is weird. Did someone really ask you to move? That's so rude. Karen can't have a 300-pound nerd ogre with unkempt hair and wearing a comic t-shirt and sweats disturbing suburbia. 365 days. Imagine it with an ugly guy. So basically, kidnapping. Edit. I don't like the movie and I don't think it's cool. But I have some friends that like that movie and don't think it's creepy or something, so that's why I wrote it. My girlfriend and her best friend adore this movie. I felt crazy because I was violently uncomfortable the whole time and kept whispering, but this is just rape, to their protests of how it wasn't, and it was all actually well intentioned. I can't wrap my head around it. The movie was basically just softcore porn with a creepy kidnapping / rape plot. Emo. This is all too accurate for my experience too. Except I was just mentioning Stockholm Syndrome the whole time along with just saying the dude's a rapist. Okay, I'm going for the creepiest answer award. Talking to children edit for boring bonus anecdote. I had an empty seat next to me on a long distance bus. A small girl was put to the bus all by herself by her granny because the bus was fully booked or something, and only the girl got a ticket. Granny asked around who could look after her for the trip. I would have liked to, as I've worked as a kindergarten teacher, but being a dude, waited in silence until a young woman in front of me volunteered. The girl's parents were thankfully waiting for her at the destination city, so it's not like she was abandoned, but it was a weird situation. The end. As a guy, you just don't volunteer in those situations just to be safe. Which is so stupid. We shouldn't have to stand by and wait for a woman to show up out of fear. My wife worked at 2 daycares before, and in one they'd refuse to hire men at all, and at the other, men could work there, but we are not allowed to do much. It's trash, man. Facial hair. A mustache can work if you look like Tom Selleck or Sam Elliott. Most of the time you look like a sex case that is probably on a register somewhere. Beards can also look great on a good looking guy, but on a not so conventionally handsome man, they can make one look like a deranged street person. Sometimes beards can turn an unattractive man into an attractive man. For example, men with weak chins. Stalking. Movies romance the idea for handsome types and vilify it when someone isn't handsome. Realistically, it's always bad. Similar to what I said. I specifically said that you show everyone, including myself, is obsessed with girlfriends, and I will be talking about the show when 2 of them say I would be all about that relationship. I responded with, "You know he kills people, right? Lol. I don't care. He's hot and would treat me like a queen." I laughed, telling myself they were being facetious, but I'm pretty dang sure they weren't joking at all. I've made similarly gross comments about hot guys in TV shows / movies. Probably the weirdest was on The Walking Dead, back when that show was still watchable. In season 5, the Terminus main dude who was a cannibal, but also like super hot. I'd let him eat me was a running joke on social media for a little bit after those episodes aired. So, you can even be a cannibal if you're hot enough and girls will still fawn over you. Literally anything that can be construed negatively or positively can be decided by a person's attractiveness. Standoffish and unfriendly, strong and uncaring, decisive, or a churlish and arrogant, quiet and antisocial, somber and stoically deep, or weird and uncomfortable, talkative and loud, magnetic and charming, or childish and obnoxious. I could go on, but the point is there. Of course, society isn't as black and white, and there are other attractive elements that decide this difference in perception between physical appearance. That is assuming to a degree personative charisma or an attractive personality as well, but that doesn't change the fact of natural over-exaggeration in negative and positive perceptions of attractive and less attractive people. Being the male protagonist in a romance movie. Yup. If the main guy in 50 Shades wasn't a good looking guy, it would have been a horror film. Or Passengers with Chris Pratt and Jennifer Lawrence. If that was John Goodman who woke her up from cryogenic sleep because he didn't want to be alone, that movie becomes a thriller. Being shy. I've been called a creep too many times to count because I get social anxiety. Can confirm. I met my best friend in a bar, and he sat by himself and kept to himself, but would write screenplays. When people asked him about it, he was embarrassed and shy about it, so he didn't tell them. All the bartenders called him creepy, and he's writing books on how he was going to kill them all. I had to stand up for him multiple times when they called him creepy or weird. Nah dude, he just liked being left alone. Hold up. He wrote books on how he'd kill them. Edit, misread that. Being quiet and antisocial. I have a son that is incredibly good looking. Because he's handsome they find him mysterious, brooding, haunting, sexy. He's actually just really shy and a bit anxious and doesn't like social situations. If he were ugly, he'd be a creep-aff. I'm not the best looking, but not an ugly duckling either. However, I'm quiet and reserved, but apparently it makes me look like an asshole to some. I wish someone thought I was a sexy, mysteriously brooding gentleman. Just tip your imaginary hat and say laddie every once in a while. All suspicions will go away. You will be at peace knowing people see you as a gentleman. Not sexy and brooding, but a gentleman. Being into video games and anime. Ugly gamer equals loser. Boring hot gamer equals quirky. Fun. I think a reason for that is being a nerd is often seen as an escape from the real world. Like, oh, he can't get a girlfriend, so he turns to his video games instead. Type shit. While being attractive and being into nerdy stuff comes off as more genuine because he could do anything and he wants to do this nerd thing. What a quirky guy. Honestly, pretty much anything. Name any bold fashion choice, accessory, hairstyle, facial expression, or human interaction, and it becomes creepy on an ugly dude or any ugly person. Repeatedly sliding into my DMs. Well, ain't that true for everyone? Flirting. Flirting can be extremely creepy coming from attractive guys too. They are sometimes the worst offenders cause they're so overconfident. I've seen plenty of women go for creepy pickup lines, as long as the guy is attractive enough. One of my friends recorded one under the table yesterday. It was an incredibly dumb line, but she ended the post with "It's okay though. He's really hot." Made my day. I'm a maybe above average guy and even I can see there's a huge double standard about what's more welcome the more attractive you are. Apparently, even looking at a girl's direction. I've been labeled as a creep by my own ducking friend because I spaced out. Obligatory "that person is probably not your friend" comment. And this is why I have no friends. For men. Being in a relationship with an attractive woman. If you're handsome, people think you guys make a cute couple. If you're ugly or even slightly below average, people either think the girl is a gold digger or just get plain jealous because they think they are a better option for her than you are. This happened a lot with my ex. I'm transgender and not good looking, so I had her guy friends jealous because I wasn't handsome enough for her, but then because they thought she needed a real man, her female friends assumed she was only with me for a green card and would generally try to invalidate our relationship to find her someone up to paragraph. She literally had to stop talking to most of them to get it to stop. We are friends now, and she's with a good looking dude. They don't do that to him at all. They try to trash me to him. But he's known me for years. He's told them off a few times, lol. Take the movie 50 Shades of Grey. Replace Mr. Grey with an ugly, mid-class man instead of a rich and handsome one and people will realize how creepy his behavior is. It's pretty ironic how the fans of this movie were blinded by the character's wealth, fortune, cool cars and his appearance, just as much as Anna in the film got blinded by it. Again. Replace Jamie Dornan by Danny DeVito and people would want the film banned for promoting objectification of women and shit when that's already what Grey is doing. He wanna make Anna an object to spank her really hard, and he manipulate her in order to do that. There is a meme going around of one of the scenes but someone has photoshopped Gru's face from Minions onto the guy and it says, "Does that make you happy, Bobby girl?" And I ducking die laughing every time. Long hair for men. Short hair for women. If you are overweight it's worse. I'm a woman and I used to be called creepy when I had very long hair. To be fair, it wasn't in good shape. Super thick and just looked dead, I guess. I was also very underweight at the time. But on top of that I was a quiet girl. So I agree. Looking kind of extreme in terms of weight, looks, all that kind of thing makes you look creepy to others. But hey, I cut my hair pretty short and gained 20 pounds and now no one calls me creepy or ugly. Suck it, people. D. Asking someone on a date. I once worked at a local pool as a lifeguard. While I was working there, a co-worker, female, laid a complaint against a customer for asking for her number. The customer even got a warning from one of the pool's managers. Fast forward to less than 1 month later, and the same co-worker is going on a date with a customer who asked for her number while she was at work. Apparently it was okay for him to ask because he was cute, but the other customer was ugly as, so he should have known to stay away anyway. I hated working at that place. The people were weird. Even being friendly. I used to work in a very predominantly female field. I had to orientate new hires. One of the most common things I ask at the end: if there's anything you have a question about, or that or need answered for you, let me know. We'll figure it out. The amount of times I heard "I'm married" or "a guy have a boyfriend" was ridiculous. I got married, and my wife said you shouldn't be, so nice women get the wrong idea. You are nice and don't want anything. And many women don't understand that. It's very infuriating. Wait. Are talking about being handsome or ugly in this scenario? Yes. Hey, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.